number 67. It's which one of these equations matches this graph? What should you do? Plug them all into Desmos and pick the one that looks like that. Now, to save time, though, which two do we know it's not? Which is it not? There's two that you can get rid of B. Why? It's a negative. That means it would face upside down. This one's facing right side up. Which other one can we can get rid of D because it has a negative. Okay, so I'm going to type those two into Desmos. I want you guys to just watch. Tell me which one matches. What is the first one? X squared plus 2. See how it moved it up 2? That's what plus 2 does. Does that match what's on your paper? No, here, let's type the other one just for good measure. It's 2x squared. It's going to stretch it out, like make it taller. And then, what is it, minus 1? Does that look like what's on your paper? You can click on these so that you can, well, those aren't exactly nice whole numbers, but starts at 0, negative 1. Right, so our answer is C, as in colored. All right, number 68. Given this x squared, we want to reflect it. That means that there should be a negative out front. So which two can we get rid of? Get rid of C and D. This time we want there to be a negative because it says reflected. And then we want to vertically stretch it by 3. That means you've times by 3. You're stretching it out by 3. So do you see how this one has that 3 in front of, like you're multiplying? Are we seeing this here? With me there. B as in bubble gum. This plus 3 would move it up 3. It wouldn't stretch it. It would just move the whole thing up. And if you typed it in the calculator, you could see that. All right, this one is asking you for factors. This is something we struggled with on this test. Thank you. So we need to extra pay attention to this, okay? Where is this first 0? Negative 3. That means the factor should be x plus 3. So we want that one. Now the other one is at 1. So which factor? Well, x minus 1. Good. So those two. This one, you could either work it out by hand or you could do what? Everybody needs to watch. All right, what is it? X squared plus 3x minus 10. Now I'm going to type all the choices. And we're going to pick one that links up exactly with that. All right. So what is A? X 5 minus 2. Did I type that right? Was it the first one? Do you see that? See how it links up? No. That's our answer. You can type the other ones if you want, but to save time, it's A as in applesauce. All right, exponential function. Do you see how it's a swoop? Remember, we had lines, that's linear. We had U shapes, that's quadratic. And we had this, remember the turtles and the islands? All right, the swoops. All right, we want to move 2 units. Is it up? Up 2 units. Sorry, I was looking for the up or the down. Up 2. That means you want a something plus 2. Which choice has a something plus 2? B. Do you see that, a plus 2? If it said down, which choice would be your answer? C. Good. If it said stretched by 2, it would be A. This one doesn't even make any sense. That's not even a thing. Okay. Now, these choices are not written the way that you would see them. I want you to scribble them out. We're going to just look at the graph and figure out what the range is. You would not see your choices written like that. We haven't covered that. I don't know why they wrote it like that. So I'm going to type this in. Negative 2, 3 to the x power. It's a swoopy thing. Do you see that? Is range x or y? Y. Stopping at 0 here. Do you see this? Do you want everything above 0 or everything below 0? Below. So we're going to write y greater than or less than? Less than 0. Here's the thing. There's not an equal to with it because the swoopy thing is just going to kind of level off there. It won't ever actually touch 0. So you just don't do the equal sign. It's going to be less than, but not equal to. For this one, we're going to type that in. We want the range value for a domain of 2. Is that practically the exact same equation? Oh, it's just a 3 out front and a 2 in the parentheses. Oh, not a 32. Here we go. For a domain value of 2. So I'm going to type x equals 2. See how I put that vertical line in there? I'm going to click where they do what? Perfect. So 2, comma 12. Our answer is B as in biscuit. There we go. This one's kind of silly. I don't really understand. Like, this is, I don't know. Let's see what you guys think of it. This equation represents the number of sections Y of a sheet of paper after X folds. What does the 0.38 mean? Well, it means after 3 folds, you have 8 sections. That's kind of silly to me. The 0.3 comma 8. It means after you fold the paper 3 times, you're gonna have 8 sections. All that means. All right, which one of these represents a quadratic function? We're gonna type them all in. Quadratic means what shape? A U. Good vocabulary. Parabola, a U shape. What then gets the whole party started? You are so smart. Before table, we do want table. Are you still listening to me? Plus table. Okay, so let me type it in. -1, 0, 1, 2, and then 1, 0, 1, 4. I'm gonna hit the magnifying glass. Does that look like a U shape? Yeah, it does. So actually, it's the first one. Now listen to me. If you're talking, you're not listening. On your SOL, I would want 4 on the floor. I would want you to type in all the rest of them. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, make sure. But today, for the sake of time, that was the one that was the U shape. All right, still matching these up. What is this one right here? Linear. All right, so that one's A. The U shape means quadratic. That's B. And then the swoop is exponential. That's C. All there is to that. All right, we're going to use this scenario to answer 77, 78, 79. I'm going to stand up and give you a little. You listening? This is important. You have to have some reading comprehension. This is more a reading question than a math question. Okay, so I am going to read the whole thing to you, but I want you to read along with me. An English teacher wants to see if students who read more books have a higher SOL score. Do you think that they would? If you practice reading more, wouldn't you think you'd have? But okay, common sense here. Help the teacher plan out her study by determining the data that needs to be collected. All right, what 2 variables do we have to collect data on? We're going to select 2 choices. Read through them. Can you come up with one? One thing she would need. B, let's see. Number of books students read. Does anyone agree? Yeah. And then the reading SOL score, B and C. Those are the 2 things that she's trying to compare. Good job. Again, this is more a reading question than a math question. All right, she's not going to survey literally everybody. So what's the best way she can collect data? Let's read through. Only people that arrive before the bell rings, only her last class, 10 random students in each class, or just put the link up and see who fills it up. C, randomly, she's just going to pick random people because the others, she might not get good results from the other ones. Good, you guys are good at this. Good, you have common sense. Good job. All right, she makes a scatter plot and notices it's a line with a positive slope. What does that mean? Read through. Let's see. More books you read, lower your score. Probably not. More books you read, higher your score. That's what that means. Good. You guys nailed that. Nice job. You just got to read. Okay. The problem is some people will look at a question and if there's too many words, they won't even look at it. So you can't do that. You have to persevere. Okay. What button do I hit to get the entire party started here? Oh, I just got an email about this. They sent it to all the math teachers. They said, make sure that your students know how to clear out Desmos. Every time you start a new problem, you need this to be empty. Do you understand me? Clear it out. When you go in there to take this, they can't tell you anything. It's like a state law. You can lose your teaching license if you help someone on an SOL. All they are allowed to do is say, read the question and pick the best choice. They can't help you clear out the calculator. They can't help you with what buttons to press. Literally nothing. Okay. Every time you start a new problem, clear it out. What do you mean? I get what you're saying, but we're not. I'm just letting you know they're not going to help you. All right. I'm going to hit plus table and type all this in. I'm doing this. Can you read the problem? What is this about? These are temperatures, right? So these are temperatures. And then what's the other thing? Number of ice creams. Okay, before I even do this, what do you think happens as the temperature goes up? You probably sell more ice cream the hotter it is outside, right? I would assume. Nobody's hopefully buying ice cream in the middle of January, right? So what does this look like? A line? I think it looks kind of exponential, but look at the choices. We don't have an exponential choice. So it's probably the U shape. Which 2 can you get rid of? I'm done. Absolutely stop talking. It's disrespectful and you need to pass this. Yeah, look at me like I'm crazy. All right, which two can you get rid of because it's not a line? Which two of these are lines? C and D. Do you see how that's y equals mx plus b? We don't want that. All right. I'm going to type each of the other two choices. We'll just see which one goes through more of the point. Oh, geez, Louise, what is that? 0.0236 squared. Did I do that right? All right, minus 1.95x plus 60.8571. Does that go through most of the points? Ah. Now on your SOL, I would want you to type the other one just to absolutely make sure, but for the sake of time here, that's it. All right. Now using that equation that we had, how many ice creams would you sell if the temperature was 85? What am I going to type in? To go to the next box down and do what? Good job. Equals 85. And then I'm going to click right, intersect. So 85 is 66. Is that a choice? They probably round it up. You can't have a fraction of an ice cream. So 66, which is B. Now listen to me. If I'm taking the SOL, what do I do before I go to the next question? Get rid of all of this X, all of it out. Good job. X, so B.